So first and foremost, what can you expect from Zero Dark? Guys, this being a Call of Duty show, I am so excited to be bringing this to all of you. And as the show evolves over time, I am excited to announce we're going to be bringing more and more guests onto the show. And Zero Dark, guys, is going to be a Call of Duty show based around everything in the Call of Duty universe, Call of Duty League, news, content, things of that nature. I wanted to create some place where it is everything Call of Duty, and I'm really excited about it, guys. This has been something that I've been wanting to and have been working on for a long time. And without further ado, guys, let's get into the show. So Call of Duty Ghosts 2, this is a title that I have wanted to see for a very long time. And not so much because I felt like it was the greatest Call of Duty ever made. I think that there's plenty of other Call of Duties that have come out in recent memory or even in the past, the far past, that were far superior to Call of Duty Ghosts. But Call of Duty Ghosts did a couple of really cool things. The first one was the campaign. So I know not everybody plays the Call of Duty campaigns. I absolutely love them. I always play the Call of Duty campaign before I get into the multiplayer experience because I feel like it's really important to understand the world, understand more of the lore, the story that the folks over at Activision, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, and Treyarch are trying to build. It also helps, of course, with learning the mechanics of the new game. Typically, it's very, very similar from year to year, but we do know that when you go from one year to the next, there are definitely some differences as well as some similarities. We know we had the boots on the ground era, then it went to jetpacks, now we're back to boots on the ground. And so there's definitely change as time goes. And Call of Duty, of course, is one of those titles where it's no different. Well, Call of Duty Ghosts, that being, of course, the campaign for this title, was, like I had mentioned, one of my favorite Call of Duty campaigns in the entire franchise. And Call of Duty Ghosts, of course, left us, for those of you, of course, who have played, but if you haven't played, it left us on what I would consider the biggest cliffhanger in the history of Call of Duty up to this point in time. Unbelievable how it ended, and obviously, ever since then, I have wanted to see the continuation of Call of Duty Ghosts in the form of Call of Duty Ghosts 2 to see kind of like, what happens next after the events of Call of Duty Ghosts. And, I think that that's, really just the tip of the iceberg in terms of, first and foremost, wanting to understand what happened here at the end of the game. And, to kind of transition from the campaign to another element of Call of Duty Ghosts that I thought was really innovative, something that I really enjoyed, was the introduction of Extinction. Extinction, guys, replaced zombies, at least for that year. And, I really enjoyed Extinction for a number of reasons, not only because it was different, but zombies, even though I know zombies is far more popular than Extinction ever was, I thought that the concept of Extinction was really cool in the, from the perspective of, instead of fighting against zombies, you're fighting against aliens. And then on top of that, Extinction you could beat. You could actually beat it, whereas, zombies is just waves and waves of these zombies, and then you go as far as you can, and then you die, right? And I felt that zombies would be really awesome if you could essentially beat it. If there was a way to, there was an end game where you could actually beat zombies. I thought that would be really fascinating. And I thought Extinction was the tip of the spear when it came to essentially this concept where, yes, it's awesome to play against waves and waves of enemies, but can you beat it? Is there a story here? Are there like more elements, more lore that they can build upon from other modes outside of the campaign? And I felt that Extinction was a kind of a step in that direction. I would love to see an Extinction 2.0, alongside like the campaign, a continuation of the campaign from Ghost 1 to Ghost 2. Extinction 2.0, I think, would be really cool, but even expanding upon it. maybe making there have modes where you can beat Extinction, like kind of like a story mode-esque type of situation in Extinction 2.0, but you also have the traditional mode where you go up against waves and waves of aliens, similar to zombies, and you go until you die. I think that that would be really, really fascinating to me, and so I felt that there was something special there. And I know it's a very unpopular opinion of mine to say that Extinction in my mind is better than zombies. I just enjoyed it more simply because zombies just felt very repetitive over time. Yes, they've added so much to zombies over the course of time, and it's awesome, but Extinction, I just felt was something where they were creating something different, and I think that not everyone felt that, the same way as me. Not everybody loved that. They loved like just the kind of traditional zombies, and I understand it. I really do. But I would really love to see a continuation of Extinction in the form of Extinction 2.0. Now let's get to the multiplayer. So Call of Duty Ghosts certainly was not the best multiplayer experience by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, from the maps to the weapons to, the gameplay, all of those things, it was not the best experience. I did enjoy it, but I think that Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer and the reception of Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer really solidified Activision's decision to move from boots on the ground to jetpacks. Now, maybe the decision was made far before Call of Duty Ghosts came out, but it was really, that was like the final nail in the coffin to the community saying that we need change after Call of Duty Ghosts. And so I feel like Ghosts was somewhat the subject to the wrath of the community where, they just wanted there to be change. We wanted to go back to, those classic CODs, COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, and even Black Ops 1. That feel of the Call of Duty era was the greatest era ever in Call of Duty history. And, so a lot of people and players understandably wanted there to be, change, probably more so in that direction, but we really got change in the form of Advanced Warfare. And I always talk that, going into the jetpack era was, in my mind, the dark ages of COD. Even though I loved Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, I did not like that one whatsoever. I know a lot of people like Black Ops 3. Infinite Warfare, I felt, even though that was probably for a lot of people in the community was the worst COD ever made. I thought that Infinite Warfare was a lot better than Black Ops 3. But when you look at the trajectory of where they were going with the jetpack era, it was one of those things that they obviously realized we need to go back to boots on the ground. And so Ghost, I just felt, was kind of the subject of the community's wrath, in terms of people wanting change, and we got change, right? And so Ghost, I do believe that before the game came out, there was a timeline, or they had planned that there was going to be multiple Call of Duty Ghost titles, even though Ghost 1 was the best-selling game. And I mean, year over year, Call of Duty is the best-selling game every single year. It's, just the community is unbelievable. And we come back over and over and over again for the new COD. So where could they go with the Call of Duty Ghosts 2? Well, obviously, the campaign is number one. Number two would be Extinction 2.0. The multiplayer, even though, as I mentioned, it was not the best experience ever. I did enjoy some of the weapons. I enjoyed some of this, that was a period of time where I was sniping all the time. Some of the sniper rifles were okay, but it just wasn't, like MW2 and Black Ops 2 in my personal opinion. And so what could they do with a Ghost 2? Well, I really feel though, guys, even though it was not the best product ever, I feel that they had something that they could build off of, realizing what we did right, wrong, and what we can do different moving forward. A lot of the maps were not that memorable either, at least in my opinion, in Ghost 1. I feel that Strike Down, that was my favorite map for sure. There were a couple of maps that were decent, right? But it didn't feel like MW2, Black Ops 2 maps. It just, they had 1-2 maps that were good. And it's kind of felt like that for a number of years now, where we've had 1 or 2 maps that are, really good or at least decent. And the rest of the maps are, kind of forgettable. And now with MW3 coming out, we're going to be getting, of course, all of these maps coming to us, the classic maps from MW2, which is incredible. The rumor is with Black Ops 5 or Black Ops, Cold War 2, which I'm hoping it's Black Ops 5. The rumor is that that is going to be all of the Black Ops 2 maps, which I think could very well be the best Call of Duty ever made, especially with the modern, technology, modern consoles, graphics, all of those things. Seeing those maps remastered and redone and reimagined is going to be something really special. I think that the MW2 maps reimagined are going to be incredible as well. But with Ghosts, I feel that they could do some really special things. They can do the things that, maybe they were planning on doing for Call of Duty Ghosts 2 if they ever were to get that or greenlight that project. And like I said, the major thing, though, is realizing what you did right, wrong, and what you can do different moving forward. I think there was definitely a trajectory forward for Call of Duty Ghosts 2. Now, the big question, will we ever get a Call of Duty Ghosts 2? The answer to that, guys, is most likely not. Even though I believe that if we, as the community, go to the developers, go to the publishers, and we voice our opinion, whether it's on social media, making, content on YouTube, Twitch, wherever it is, our voice matters. It definitely can move mountains. I look at games like Dead Space, where they were games, we had an original trilogy, and then after those 3 games, it went into a limbo state or a state of no return, and people thought that Dead Space was never coming back. And I was creating content, a number of people were creating content on YouTube about, a Dead Space continuation. And over time, we echoed it into existence in the form of a Dead Space remake. And it did so well that everyone, and I really should say, EA and the folks over there decided, now that, Dead Space is back, and it's back better than ever, and it's there. I believe that they are going to be going, full blown into this franchise once again. And so could Call of Duty Ghosts suffer, or really not suffer, but, have the same fate as something like a Dead Space? I believe absolutely. Now, from a business perspective, Ghosts versus like Modern Warfare and Black Ops, it's not even close. Black Ops and Modern Warfare are the 2 biggest subseries in the overarching franchise that is Call of Duty. And, from a business perspective, if they just went back and forth between Modern Warfare and Black Ops, I would be okay with that because I love those 2 franchises. They're incredible. I just would love to see a Ghost 2, though. I really would. I think that there is something to be said for a Call of Duty Ghost 2. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Let's have a real conversation about Call of Duty Ghosts 2. Is this something that could ever happen in the future? What do you guys think? Let's talk about it. And for more Call of Duty Ghosts 2 content and videos, keep it here with Zero Dark.